Howdy folks, and welcome to my very first annual review of my YouTube channel. It's been a little over 12 months since I've started my YouTube channel, can you believe it? It's almost 13 months, we're a bit behind. So we reached the 12-month mark around about the 9th of October 2023. And this review is going to cover some of the things that I've learnt along the way and some of the challenges I have had in running my YouTube channel, including maintaining a regular upload schedule in balance with my other obligations and commitments in other areas of both music and in other areas of life and in IT. So let us get started. Before we get into things, a little bit of a background. For those who do not know, I am a musician playing keys, as it's now called, keyboard, organ, piano, dabbling in a little bit of other instruments like a guitar, and expanding from there on in. I'm a cover artist, although many years ago I tried my hand at a bit of songwriting without much success. I may do so again in the future, who knows? But primarily a cover artist, and I began the idea of working on a CD to produce and get things started, to start gigging at performances myself, although the COVID pandemic had put a screeching halt to that idea, and I had also been encouraged to start a YouTube channel. Having said that, I started watching some and following some people on YouTube and some other musicians, artists, who have set themselves up as independent artists, independent of record labels and those sorts of things, and are using YouTube as a platform with which to continue their career or build upon their career as a musician. So I thought, well, we'll try that myself. So in October last year, in 2022, I launched my YouTube channel. So the first challenges that I've had was to navigate the copyright licensing in able to get things going. This proved a little bit of a challenge. My good mate Bernie from Bernie's Music Land directed me to an organisation called APRA AMCOS. They are an organisation here in Australia and that deals with music licensing. So upon contacting them, I gave them the list of the songs I want to do for my CD to record and to be able to pay a fee to obtain the copyright license for that. That was all okay. And I also explained to them the other things that I want to do, that I'm wanting to set up a YouTube channel, to put the music on the music videos, to do some performances at gigs, and to perhaps even distribute some of the music through online music streaming platforms. Now, I thought that the license that APRA AMCOS were going to give me was going to be sufficient for all of that. But they said, hey, not so fast, because there are different licenses that you need for different things. What they provide is what's called a mechanical license. And they said that it was only available for audio recordings that are distributed on physical media, such as a CD, USB, vinyl, whatever the physical media is. If you want to distribute your music through online streaming platforms, then you need what's known as an aggregator. And I thought, hey, what the hell's an aggregator? I never heard of that before. Once I found out what an aggregator was, they could not recommend one. They gave me a whole long list of different aggregators that are available. But the YouTube community, the musicians that I've been following on YouTube, have been very consistently recommending DistroKid. So I went to DistroKid and set up an account there, and that is ready to go for when I am ready to release some music, which hopefully will be soon. And then the next thing they said, well, your YouTube channel, you want to create music videos, well, or even record some of your music performances and put them on your YouTube channel or on your website or anything like that. I said, well, you need something called a synchronization license because you need to be able to synchronize your audio to your visual. So you need a synchronization license. And I said, well, okay, so who do I go to get a synchronization license? I said, and they told me that there was not one single body that was available that provides synchronization licenses. They said, well, you've got to contact all the music publishers, the license holders, which you may or may not know about, and those sorts of things directly. I have learnt from a number of people whom also I follow on YouTube that synchronization licenses can be hugely expensive, notoriously difficult or impossible to actually obtain. And I thought, my goodness, my YouTube channel and everything that I want to do is over before it even starts purely on copyright. Fortunately, I found out about another organisation called We Are the Hits that allows one to have copyright clearance to create music videos and post them on YouTube. Now, this is specifically for YouTube only. It does not cover anything else. And they do not provide synchronization licenses. What they do is they reach out to the copyright holders and form an agreement that allows YouTubers like myself to be able to use the music to create YouTube videos or music videos to post on YouTube channel. That has been a big lifesaver. Now, also, there is another thing called a performance license, a performing license. So, if I were to perform cover songs, that I would need to register that. There's an organisation here in Australia called One Music that I can pay a fee, register the event or the gig that I'm attending to, and then I'm covered for the performances there. It would be a lot easier if there was one body where you can pay the licenses, because we all want to do the right thing, and by all the copyright holders and pay the royalties and everything that is owing. It'll be much easier if it was a body. One body that does these different things. So that's the first challenge. And that took me a while to actually navigate through. So whilst I was navigating through those particular issues, one of the people I follow on YouTube, and again afterwards I found others who say the same thing, just get started, post something up, get it all started. So I got that started. I got some basic cover image and all that sorted on the YouTube channel, and I started the first video introducing myself. Just a quick note on We Are the Hits, something that I've omitted to mention when I previously mentioned We Are the Hits. They only provide clearances for original covers. That is, that you need to perform the music yourself on a musical instrument. Create it yourself. You cannot use a master recording from the artist and put it in your video clip. That does not work. It has to be an original cover. And that's a term that I've become familiar with that I didn't know about prior to setting up an account with We Are the Hits. Also, you can only do the songs that are in their song library, i.e. the songs that they have actually made arrangements or agreements with for YouTubers to be able to monetize, with the copyright holders. Anything else is not covered. And again, it's only for the YouTube platform. And you can't post it anywhere else, you're not covered. In trouble. Alright, now that's out of the way. And go back to the introductory videos that I just used to introduce myself. I decided to create a bit of a blog to let you all know what sort of background I have in music, where I come from, and all the things that I've done in the past with my music. Some people I am following have also been providing information on different projects they're working on and things. So I thought I'd use that idea and start doing that as well. Some others have been trying to put back to the community to demonstrate or show viewers what they actually do, how they actually create the content that they create on YouTube, on their channel. So I've decided to do the same. Now, incidentally, at the same time, YouTube provided me with a community tab for that particular purpose. So I decided to try and do that on the community tab, and that really hasn't worked out the way that was originally intended. I'm still working on refining that. There's currently a poll sitting there. I might look at doing something with the community tab again in the new year, but at the moment I'll just keep that poll there, and anybody who hasn't voted yet, you can still vote on that poll, the different music or the genres of music that you would like me to provide. You can even leave your comments there. That is where I started. I even just used the audio from my video camera, thinking that was going to be sufficient. But I've since learnt that I needed to record or improve my audio and record it through separate microphones or headsets. You would have seen from me now in the past, if you go and have a look at some of the old videos where I'm using a headset. I've since been able to get a hold of this little microphone here, and my good friends at Billy Hyde Musik, and incidentally, there's another Bernie that's down there, and yes, in case you're wondering, the two Bernies do know each other. They used to work together once upon a time at another music store in Melbourne's CBD called Alan's Music, once upon a time, long time ago. So there we go. Now, small world, isn't it? So I've got a Bernie looking after me at Bernie's Music Land. Has been doing that for over 25 years. And I've got another Bernie that's looking after me at Billy Hyde Musik, and they're absolutely really wonderful. Both of them. They have been a huge help to me and a great support with what I'm doing. So a big shout out to both of them. Now, armed with new audio, the first lots of audio that I did on piano, because I realised that this is supposed to be a music channel with music. And that's primarily the purpose of the channel, is to provide music videos, to provide music entertainment, as well as all these other little bits around the side as well. So I decided to try and do just a basic simple chord progression whilst I was working through the copyright issues. That initially went okay, and that was recorded straight from with the camera audio as well. But then I went through and did the same recording again, the same chord progression again, extended it a little bit more, stuck a bit of a rhythm unit from the instrument on there and put it through proper audio channels from the instrument through the interface and into the computer. And I thought that was all okay, because they're basic chord progressions. We should not have any copyright issues until all the copyright situation is sorted. And that's been, a big headache always with copyright. And so these very careful hoops and steps that I've got to take to make sure that we always stay on the correct side of the copyright and do the right thing. Lo and behold, If you look at my old clips, you may have seen some of my old videos on my channel that there is something called a YouTube's Content ID. It's an automated content ID system that I didn't know about. And I suddenly got a copyright claim on the basic chord progression. I thought, my goodness gracious, trying to do the right thing, and bang, that's the end of me. But fortunately, I was able to dispute that once I learnt all about what it was and that I could dispute it, and it's a common sort of thing, so not so much of an issue, and the whole thing went away. Interestingly enough, I have been able to use the same chord progression, the same sort of thing, dazz it up a little bit and cut and whatever, onto my opening screens for my video blog series. There we go. Until the next time, I suppose. But yeah, that's another sort of learning curve, interesting development that happened early on. So there's a lot of things that you come across when you first start. Also, by the time I managed to get through all the copyright issues and finally managed to find some music in time for Christmas last year, Christmas 2022, and to actually record a proper music video and upload it through WATH or With Other Hits, and have that cleared and posted on YouTube, which was really, really great. I was very excited and happy to do that. The only thing is I had to reorder and change a couple of things I wanted to do, because a lot of the things that I wanted to record and that I had been working on are not in WATH's song library, so I can't do that. I have to find something that's in the song library and then do some work to get it. So the things that I had ready to go weren't in the library. I couldn't do it. Given the amount of content and the length that this video is already going, I am going to have to split this into two parts. Please hit the like below. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for part 2. Until next time, we'll catch you then.